welcome. My name is Miss Davis and I am the Adult Services Librarian at the Vista Grande Library. And this is the Literati for now. This is the Literati for now. And as you can see, I have my middle part, very Gen Z, or very Civil War. Also, we're going to be talking about this month's book, Varina. I think that's how you say it, Varina. And we'll just go with that, Varina. And it talks about Varina Howell Davis, who was the wife of the Confederate President Jefferson Davis. Fun fact, I'm not related to him. However, I am related to Lewis and Clark and his pirate uncle. So chew on that. Also, I also put over here, there is the Confederacy White House in Richmond, Virginia. Just thought I'd point out that little thing that just taped to the background there. Anyway, so this takes place all over the South and in the in some cases in England, and some places in Paris, in some cases New York, because she was kind of exiled. So it talks about her, a fictitious account of her after the wars. So I thought it was really kind of interesting. Well, first let me tell you, there's this stylistic choice that the author made. Initially, I had emailed the author and his agent, but did not get a reply. I was hoping we could do some sort of interview, but that didn't pan out. But one of the things I wanted to ask him was, the entire book doesn't use quotation marks, and instead it uses like a dash, a long dash, and you just kind of have to figure it out along the way. And then some italicized words to show like breaks in time or who's talking at what point. So it took a little while to get used to. So I don't know why he did that. I don't know if that was something that was done in the past, in the olden days, if they were done when people wrote books, the original publications of the books, they didn't use quotes, or if it was just Charles Frazer who wanted to do that. So we had some of the Literati members email and submit questions and hope to ask the author, and I'm going to attempt them, and I'm also going to include them in the comment section so y'all can answer them as your own speculations and opinions. One of the questions was, did most Southerners regret the war? And obviously I'm not Southern, obviously I'm not from 1850s or 1820s or 60s, whatever just a stab in the dark. I don't know, but I do speculate that people were the Southerners regretted the loss of life, of a lot of the people dying, as well as the loss of lifestyle, because supposedly, according to a study at Duke University, they said that it amounted to almost 1 in 3, almost a third of the Southern population owned slaves in some capacity, while people say that while the actual plantation owners were a much smaller percentage, like supposedly 1%, but I hate to use that. I use that term, but so they employed the most slaves, but a lot of other day-to-day people employed 1 or 2 or handful or what have you. So 1 in 3 Southerners owned slaves. So I think probably a lot of grief over loss of lifestyle, and just the enormous amount of loss of life in the war. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments to see what you speculate. So, was the author intending to place Jefferson Davis in a negative light? I didn't see Jefferson Davis being played in a negative light or written that way. He was just a very peculiar man to begin with, and I think that came across. He was kind of antisocial, moralistic, and weirdly what's the word, utopian for his perspective of what utopia will look like. So, I don't know, it was just kind of odd to me. I didn't see him as like bashing Jefferson per se, but he certainly wasn't glorifying him either in any way, shape, or form. So I thought it was a nice hazy middle that you guys can kind of figure out, because I'd just be interested in what your replies are to that. Someone else asked, so another Literati member submitted a question saying, who was the president that Varina hated? And the answer is, I guess we'll never know. But I did narrow it down, giving the time frame and of when she was around, her contemporaries versus the presidents that were there. So the possibility about seven different presidents that she could potentially not like. Those include Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, and Lincoln. Lincoln is mentioned, but not as the president she hated. It was just another person to deal with. How would Varina respond to the current situation in the South with the removal of Confederate heroes as well as the statue of her husband? So that was another question that was asked. And given what we know of her, how she's portrayed in this book, I say that she would be indifferent. To her, she would, statue is almost like a painting or a picture. It's like something to jog a memory, not necessarily a glorification. She was really, I don't know, she was really ingrained, but really meh about everything. So I don't know, like, there's a part in the book where she says that she considered her maidservant, maid slave, her lady's maid, I don't know what you want to call her, Ellen. She considered her friend. Well, Ellen did not consider her like besties by any means. They were cordial and they shared the raising of the children and what have you. And Varina was supposedly shocked at Ellen's assessment of their relationship, saying, "Oh, are you going to consider me your friend, like my bosom buddy?" And it kind of, so she had that Southern contemporary at the time, Southern contemporary view. It's just a weird relationship. All those relationships were kind of skewed and kind of drop of a hat could change on a whim for the slave and slave owner, essentially. The last one, which I thought was really interesting, someone asked, was laudanum and wine commonly used as an antidepressant? So I had to look this up. So it's a great question, by the way, because they talk about it all the time, not necessarily as laudanum, but they mention it usually by opium and mixing it with wine. So laudanum is opium mixed with any alcohol, and opium is morphine, basically. It's morphine, and it's like a 10% strength or what have you, but it was a panacea, and it was used for so many random things. As far as the doctors of the day were concerned, it was, like a cure cancer, broken bones, hysteria, etc., etc. But I do have a list from reputable sources about what it was used to treat. Laudanum and opium was used to treat. So they have headaches, vertigo, deafness. Okay, so being a deaf person, this is hilarious to me. Epilepsy, asthma, coughs, venomous bites, lowered vision, blood in the lungs, like tuberculosis type thing, shortness of breath, jaundice, urinary issues, women's troubles, which they liken to hysteria, and melancholy, which is usually depression and sadness. So they're like, oh, they're feeling blue? Have some morphine. That's basically what it that's basically what it amounts to. So it's just painkiller. It's what it is. It's a painkiller. Obviously, there's dosage. The devil is in the dosage. I'm not sure if that's the technical term or the right use of that phrase. Anyway, but it's what it is. And so it was used for a lot of things, and it was used widely. I mean, people get it all the time. It was our equivalent of Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything like that. It was all the time. But obviously, I'm hoping y'all know that it's addictive. I don't have to preach it to the choir here, that it's addictive. And so obviously there was a lot of addicts and death related with overdosing on opium and laudanum even. So what did you guys think about the book? I thought some people thought it was evocative in its phrasing and its stylistic choices of adjective and like almost hazy, cinematic kind of vibe to it. And others felt it was an easy read, and others felt it was too slow. So let me know what your thoughts are on the book, on Varina. And that was our March, February book. I don't remember my dates anymore. Okay, but look, we got a new one. So this is our new book coming up called Bettyville, and it is a memoir of a gentleman who moved from, I believe it's from New York, back to Missouri, where his mother was from, to help with elder care. And I guess they had a sort of a tenuous relationship, and how that relationship maybe changes during the course of her care, and going over the son's choices in life as well as the mother's, I haven't read it yet, so mother's acceptance or lack thereof, or sass of spirit, I don't know, we'll find out. But anyway, if you're interested in this book, you can check it out at the Vista Grande Library. There'll be a sign-up sheet at the front desk, so you can come in and sign up for the next book. And again, just let me know what you guys thought about Varina, and I will see you next month.